I'm giving away my Op Asimov if an operation actually drops this week. Like, comment and subscribe to enter. Leaks and Valve teasing have hyped us all up for an operation, or at least for a bigger update with new skins, new item types like weapon keychains and refreshing maps. Clickbait on CS YouTube is at an all-time high, and skin and investment channel numbers start to go up, which you can't necessarily say about my inventory value. Anyways, today I want to talk about a topic that has been on my mind for a few weeks now. So let's figure out how the CS investing landscape has changed and what that means for future investments, and especially for operation items. For starters, CS investing has become more widely known and also more accessible. We have more than 50% more players, or case farming bots, whatever you think, than when Riptide released in September 2021. We are seeing more content around skins and investing, more information and different opinions, which is actually good in my mind. Accessibility to more and different items due to buff was immensely increased in the last few years. There have of course always been other marketplaces, but none come close to the liquidity and volume of buff in recent times. Now that it's gone, liquidity for a lot of items has significantly decreased, and bulk buying and selling seems to be a little bit difficult for many of the more common marketplaces to implement. So in this regard, we are seeing reduced accessibility, but only for the last 2 months. Investors were able to stack tens of thousands of items due to this increased supply at the cheapest prices available. Instead of a sponsored segment, I quickly want to ask you guys to subscribe to the channel, if you haven't done so, to be up to date with everything CS investing and market and skin stuff. We're trying to hit that 3K subs before the operation drops, and as we all know, it will surely drop any day now. Over the last years, and especially during the CS2 announcement hype of May last year, everyone was made aware that you can actually make good money buying CS items and just hold them for a while. The great returns that happened for basically every sticker collection up until Paris fueled a never-seen number of players buying these capsules. I'm using Paris as an example here to show what should be on every investor's mind today. There's no guaranteed profits with new items released today, even if they're being discontinued a few weeks down the line. When stickers and cases were always safe bets and aren't that at all anymore, who's to say the same won't happen for the next operation items? If we can take away something from previous operations that should hold up today as well, is that patience is key here. Let the items hit the Steam market and check out the supply before making any major investing moves. Also, don't get me wrong here, I'm not saying you won't be able to profit with the next operations items, because I personally believe, most will be profitable sooner or later. It's just a matter of time and opportunity cost that you might need to manage here. Going back in time by watching some of the most important and sophisticated content we have, he said to buy Vertigo Grace if anyone cares. Some things were standing out to me. First, there have been so many bad calls, which is understandable but was also a little surprising to me. From Riptide cases not being a good long-term investment to agents and patches never going to rise in price. The latter I would probably have called myself, so that's fine with me. You just couldn't know. But betting on rationality and fundamentals is usually better and a little bit safer. Actually, scratch that. To reiterate Fells, one of the more on-point investment YouTubers, investment channels aren't here to tell you the best items to invest in, but to make sure you have additional information to base your investment on. That resonated very well with me, so I thought I'd include that here as well. Second thing that stood out to me is that while most of the videos covered initial price drops of the general market and some specific items, the recommendations were largely focused on the current operation items instead of older cases or collection skins, for example. That confused me a little bit, as I see a major opportunity within older items during the predicted initial operation price drop for most of the more common items. Another fact I honestly wasn't aware of, I'm not quite sure why, is that for all of the operation cases, there has been another case released more or less immediately afterwards, or at least immediately afterwards in Valve terms, with the exact same knives or gloves. If you want to have an overview about what the general consensus were at the time, beyond what I've just told you, I can recommend watching Fels's or Master Shiny's videos from that time. There's so much more capital in the CS market right now than there was in the last operations, which, yes, should also increase demand, but first of all will blow up supply of most items. How the argument of increased demand worked out, well, we're currently seeing what's happening with that. With Riptide items making insane profits and growing in popularity in the last few months specifically, I see a very high likelihood people will invest mindlessly in the new operation items. Copenhagen numbers show me that so many people aren't really learning from the past whatsoever, which on this channel we want to try and avoid for the most part. All of the arguments I just talked about are based on a stagnating or only very slowly increasing player base. If we see another big hype or great player base increases, we could have another highly profitable operation on our hands, even in the short or midterm. More of a yapping video today. I just wanted to let you know where I'm currently at with my planning and what you might want to consider as well. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Subscribe if you feel like it, and I'll see you in the next one, boys.